Join in the anime review of Powerpuff Girls Z. Like, comment, and subscribe. Based off the American cartoon, the Powerpuff Girls, Professor Utonium and his son Ken are studying the strange chemical X. When a mochi cake falls into the formula, it changes into chemical Z. Ken fires a ray of the chemical Z at the glacier in Tokyo Bay. However, that causes strange black and white light to scatter. The black light turns its victims into monsters, with emphasis on the black lightning hitting a zoo monkey, transforming him into the known supervillain Mojo Jojo. The white light, however, aims at three normal girls, Moko, Miyoko, and Kuro, thus giving them the power to transform into superheroes, the Powerpuff Girls Z. This anime has about 52 episodes. It premiered July 1st, 2006 to June 30th, 2007. Its genres are based in action, comedy, magic, school, sci-fi, shoujo, slice of life, and superpowers. Each episode is 29 minutes per episode, and it's rated PG for all ages. Now let's get started into the review time. I feel like with this anime, especially with Powerpuff Girls Z, it does take a different take of adaptation on Powerpuff Girl, because Powerpuff Girl was based in the 90s, and as a 90s kid, I am literally aging myself as I speak. It takes heavily changing the origins of the original Powerpuff Girl, which is fine. Take it to a more different audience, a different setting, especially in Tokyo, Japan. I also feel like it does take a lot of the pop culture references that are mentioned in the show and tries to make sure, like, sometimes you get the cultural references between the two countries. And I feel like sometimes with the art style itself, it is a drastically different turn, more anime style touch to it than the original American cartoon, just apart from it. But you still have the same essential characters besides giving Professor Utonium a son named Ken, and then Mojo just being strictly in a zoo, and how the original origin story had started in the American version of the cartoon. I also feel like there were a lot of things that in this particular one, Powerpuff Girls Z, is like, even though it has a newer like character design and everything looks more, different, I would say, and less like sweet and innocent as the original 90s show was. I feel like for any anime, there's gonna be a lot of different changes, especially in the script and the characters and the villains, that everything's gonna be changed a little differently, especially with some of the characters. I feel like with this adaptation, with the different characters, not the different characters, same character, but just different design, how they act, versus how are you seeing like them be in their natural state in the 90s. There are very different levels of how it has gotten changed over the course of Powerpuff Girls. There has been many adaptations of Powerpuff Girls lately in the works, but that's more in the American versus Japan. And I felt for this one in particular, I really did enjoy it. I appreciate that it was 52 episodes, so storyline with like same consistency. I think, however, it's like when you're comparing the two Powerpuff Girls and the adaptation to that, they're very different, because for Powerpuff Girls, it was based in the 90s, and the villains' designs are very more simple. The villains have more plot, more depth. And I'm not saying that this doesn't. I just feel like it was just changed a little bit to fit a different demographic. I feel like the art style is very nice, very lovely. It has retained that anime aesthetic to it. The colors are very bright, very stunning. And I think also for the songs, they weren't, for me, the intro and the outro were okay. I just feel like it wasn't too, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it wasn't, like, they were catchy, but, you're not going to be playing it over and over in the background because you're, like, automatically obsessed with the sound. I feel like, aside from the story, it was simple. It was fair. I think it wasn't confusing, because I think you get the general gist if you've seen, like, the original Powerpuff Girls compared to this one. I feel like with half of the character design, personality, and traits that were just changed a little differently due to the different demographic in the original series. That's kind of interesting, especially for like their a lot of main favorite characters, like the Rowdy Buff Boys, Sedusa. How everything was completely changed. But I think as each episode had gone on in the series, that my level of, not expectation, but, well, I guess, yeah, expectation for the series kind of went down just a little bit. And not to say knocking down the series as a whole. It's a really great show, and I do commend them from trying to, try to make Powerpuff Girls into an anime setting, but trying to make it a little different from its American counterpart, which is totally fine. You know how you want to make a slightly difference to them, but within a sense of trying to, make the same tribute or appreciation to your other counterpart. They really tried their best. I just saying that if they did more research into the or like not more research into the 90s cartoon, because on so much that you can do without feeling like you're like ripping off the entirety of the idea of the Powerpuff Girls. I just feel like if they had fleshed out the characters, and especially like the villain, just a little more, and just like maybe someone stick to the similar character design that I feel like they should have done. I feel like it. I feel like it would have got more hype that it actually deserved. Especially because I really enjoyed the series. I really enjoyed Powerpuff Girls growing up because I watched it. I also feel like as a person who grew up with this cartoon majority of her life, it's a great show. It had a really good following from when I did watch it and what it is now versus the 90s, which still has a huge following today. And I feel like when you're changing like the characteristics and the personality, how well it's going to stand up with the OG fan versus the new fans that you're kind of introducing them to, especially when they're two different time periods. Because one was based in 90 and one was based in the 2006-2007 era. I feel like there's going to be a mix of mixed reviews. But sometimes they will have a really good strong point of connecting with the audience and give that same reaction that did with the original show. And sometimes not as much. But I feel like if you want to compare it to the original, kind of don't do that. Kind of watch it with open eye if you haven't seen the original the original cartoon version of the Powerpuff Girls in the U.S. cartoon versus seeing this one as the Japanese adaptation. I think don't expect too much from it because it does have very different contrasts in the storyline, the characters that don't portray differently in the US version. That completely makes sense. I feel like when you're looking for excitement and level for this anime, you know, I can see why there are a lot of mixed reviews on it. I feel like as a person who has watched both, I feel like you shouldn't compare the two as the same thing, even though they have similar characters. I feel like the 90s version of Power Girls is a 90s version, and it's going to be hyped up more in the States than it is in Japan, because Japan has their own version. That's how they like see that how this is their version of the Power Girls and how and what they like and what the anime version of Powerpuff Girl is gonna have the stereotypical 90 not 90s but more of a anime stereotypical person cliches in the show that you won't see in the American version of the cartoon, which are two vast completely things. So I feel like if you're watching this for the first time, don't go into this watching it from like the 90s standpoint of the American cartoons and just take it from as many of y'all are anime viewers, and just note for all the cliches of the animes and like gags or gimmicks because they put into the show. Overall, it was a good show, and I appreciate one of my subscribers recommending me to review this. Akana Red, I appreciate your suggestions. I really do appreciate them. I enjoy reviewing recommendations that you truly give me, so I thought I'd give you a little shout out in this video. But definitely check out Powerpuff Girls Z if you haven't already. I will say just when you watch this, keep it open mind, because do not compare it to the 90s cartoons, because you don't want to have your expectations be put up to a high pedestal that you're disappointed in the end. But definitely check it out. Thank you for joining this review. Give this big video a big thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. Don't forget to comment down below in the comment section what anime you want to review next, or any suggestions that you may have. And join the anime family by clicking that subscribe button for more contents and more videos in the future. And I will see you soon. Bye!